Well, these guys are pretty punch drunk. They spend most of their time feeding. Dora's got plenty of milk, but they really are full up, fast asleep. And I thought it would be a good chance to just go through their markings. You can see who's still beavering away. Every time I take anything, she'll be feeding. She's an absolute dynamo, really funny. Anyway, it's great when they lay like this because you can sort of try and compare them. And even at this age, I wanted to see if any of them have got Dora's ears. Dora has quite large ears for a GSP. Good girl, Dora. You can see they're a bit bigger really than they ought to be, but there you go, all the better to hear you with. Perhaps it'll be a great advantage when they're the other side of the field, these little ones. So I've been going through trying to see if any of them have got their mother's ears, but it's impossible to tell. So there you go. One of the silly things one does. One's got a litter of puppies. But let's just go through them while they're all so relaxed. Okay, over the back here is a little girl, all white on her tail, apart from a tiny blob at the base, but she's got a fully white tail. If you see a pinkiness at the end of the tail, don't worry, that's not blood. It's the dye that comes out of the little caustic stick that the vet seals the wound with, and it stains the hair. They've all got it, and it'll be there for quite a while. You can see it here. That will be white. It's, as I say, it's not anything nasty. It is just the stain off the pen. So that's a little girl there with all her white, and she's got a nice little marking on her face. And that's a bit of pink nose there, so that will stay pink. That will always show there, although that will blend in. The little streak up the top there will be gone. She'll keep a little bit of white on half her nose. Here's another little girl here. Let's just move her over so you can see her markings. There we go, and her tail has got a little bit white on the underside. We couldn't keep white on the end of it. Would have been too long. So that's her. Little boy down here. He's all, come on, you can show your face. Got a tiny little dot on his nose, but really nothing that's significant. That will be gone by the time his markings all fill in. And he's pretty brown, isn't he? Got a bar on his back leg there. There we go. Over here, well, this is little miss, the darkest of the bitches, and again, whoops, she's got just a brown tail. No mark white was there. Her tail was completely brown. Whoops, and she's got a little star on the back of her head, but a completely. Are you going in there again? A completely brown head on her. This fatso under here. If I can just pull her out. There, she's got a bit of white on the end of her tail. There we go. Lots of, she'll probably be a bit like Dora when she's done, a sort of mishmash of irregular markings. You know, she would have been all, I'm sure you all know, she would have been solid white here when she was born. But it all comes through, and that's starting to come through already. You can see the speckling breaking out. Okay, so down here, that's another little girl laying there. She's got a nice white end to her tail and completely brown on her head. Good girl. Oh, she's all floppy. She's so warm. This is a marvellous light. You can see it's got its own thermostat and it's just clicking in and out all the time. Okay, here we've got a little boy, and he's got scarcely any white on his tail. It doesn't really show much. He's the little boy, isn't he? Hello. Hello. Yes, you're the little boy. And his little head. Now he's got a lovely little white marking on his nose. Sorry. Come on, show your nose. There. So he's got quite a clear white marking, and I think that will stay. And he's got a little bit of pink on his lip, which obviously won't block in brown. So he's nicely marked. And last but not least, oops, another little boy here. Lots of markings on him. Weasel will all block in and be speckled. So he's pretty solid liver really, and pretty solid liver tail. Tiny little white bit on the end. So there you are. You can see them a little bit more clearly. You'll get to know, I'm sure, who's who once they're all running about. And I was thinking it's only going to be end of next week before they will be all starting to creep about in here with their eyes open, which is fantastic when they first do that. Only place they're interested in getting to at the moment is to fill up once again. There they are.